let's get this thing started here. All right, obviously, we had a great result this week. We wanted to make a statement, and we did in week 13, final week of the regular season. First want to say, hats off to Ryan and the whole Robinson fantasy team. Those guys, they played hard all year. They gave us a really good game earlier in the season, and hats off to him. He's a guy I really respect. So, what I really want to convey is how proud I am of those guys in our locker room. I made it clear that I wanted them to make a statement this week, and they did that. So I'm real proud, and I think it's some of the best football that we've seen from them all year, and I think that's they might be hitting their stride here at the right time. So we secured our first round bye. That's what we needed to do. That was the most important thing, and we got that done. So week 14, we're going to be dedicated to taking in as much as we can, watching film of all four teams, because we could be playing any of the four of them. And really, this team has what it takes to go win a championship, and that's what our goal here is. Our goal when we started the season was to win the division, and we've done that now. And the goal after that is to make a deep playoff run, and we've already secured our spot in round 2. So that's where we are. We got a big 2-week long preparation here ahead of us, and we're going to see what we can do. All right, we're going to open up the questions. Yes, sir.
Coach, it's Javaris and Lamar with the Morning McCringleberry. Given your week bye, who are you hoping to get to play in the second round? The entire nation of Wakanda or Satan?
Yeah, that's a good question. Listen, we don't care who we play. We don't care when we play them. I think these guys that we've got in our locker room can show up and beat anybody on any given day. With that being said, we're happy to have the bye. I think it's going to be important for us and our championship chances. But we're not going to waste our time thinking about which opponent we'd rather play. As soon as we start doing that, we'll end up playing the other guy, and then we'll be at a disadvantage because we've wasted our time. So we're going to use this week to focus on ourselves, to work on getting better. We'll certainly tune in and see what happens. And obviously, it's going to be important for us to see which opponent we're going to have. But they're both great football teams, and ultimately, they're both going to be hard to beat. And we're going to need to show up. So we're going to spend this week working on getting ourselves better. Yeah.
Coach, you mentioned that you're a big fan of Waller, but how can you Waller if you hardly know her?
That's a great question. I'm just going to talk about Darren for a second, because he's been such a huge part of this team now for 2 years. Through the lows of last year, he was with us the entire way, and he's reaping the rewards this year. He's a huge part of that locker room, man. There's a reason why he was our keeper, and there's a reason why he's going to be our keeper, one of our keepers next year. We saw what he could do, what he's capable of in week 13, with 13 catches over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He carried that Raiders offense for a good part of that game. But that's just who he is, man. He's a hard worker. Obviously, he's gone through his own personal issues, but he's better for them, and we're a better football team for having him on our team. He's the kind of guy. Here's an example. I sat with him at the beginning of the season, and I explained to him what his role was going to be, that we wanted to play him in the flex, and he was all for it, man. He's a team guy. He'll do whatever it takes to win, even in a lesser role. And we're proud to have a guy like Darren on our team, and he's excited for the playoff run for sure, as am I. Yeah.
Coach, Tuesday Morning Manager here. How do you feel knowing that history is not on your side as you approach the playoffs? To note, in the 6 years of the league's history, only one time has the top team in the regular season taken home the trophy.
That's news to me. That's something I wasn't aware of coming into this. What I will say is that hearing that doesn't change my opinion on our team. It doesn't change my opinion on our chances. like I said before, I believe in the guys in that locker room. I believe that this is, they're deserving 1 seed, and that they have consistently shown that they're the best team in the league this year. And that's why we earned the 1 seed. With that being said, yeah, you know what? No, I mean, 6 years is not a huge sample size. I mean, we're not gonna let that stat affect our preparation at all. I'm not gonna make any rash moves with the roster or the lineups. Hearing that, all we can do is go out and try and rewrite history, and I guess that's what we're gonna have to do, right? So let's make it 2 out of 7.
Coach, what's it like in the locker room of the organization now? Are you containing or channeling that energy, or are you letting the guys enjoy the moment?
It's a great question. You know what? I think it's a little bit of both, and that's the beauty of having the bye week, right? We don't have to keep that ferocious intensity that we have during normal game weeks, because that's so hard to sustain throughout an entire season, and for that reason, you don't see anybody going undefeated. I mean, we've got the best record, and we've got 4 losses, so obviously, it's tough to maintain throughout the whole year. But like I said, yeah, that's the beauty of having a bye week. We can sort of tone down that intensity, that competitiveness towards other teams, and really look inwards and focus on our team and see how we can get better. And that, so we're certainly, it's going to be a loose week, but we want to be productive. So we're going to enjoy this win. We're going to enjoy having this bye. Otherwise, what's it for? But if we're not getting better this week, then we're wasting our time, and we're wasting this bye week, this gift that we've given ourselves. So yeah, it's really a mixture of the two. We do want to celebrate, we do want to congratulate ourselves, pat ourselves on the back, but we need to be able to improve this week while we're doing that. So otherwise, we've got no shot. We've got 5 other really, really good football teams in this playoff, and we're gonna have to give it our best to beat any of them. So that's a great question.
Coach, I'll get straight to the point because we're busy at Team Bronson here preparing for what should be a highly successful playoff run. I'll start by asking you, first of all, many people criticize your team, not me, just to clarify. I don't necessarily believe this about your team. I don't really think very much about your team or any of the other teams in this league, but what would you say to critics who have suggested in several outlets that you are perhaps the least deserving 1 seed in the history of modern fantasy football? That's my first question, Coach. And secondly, you were criticized following the draft for drafting one Kenyon Drake, halfback out of Arizona. Many commentators and pundits claiming that perhaps you reached a bit for this running back. He's reeled off a couple of good games in a row here, although one has to note that his production has been very touchdown dependent. Coach, do you think that Kenyon Drake will sustain his momentum going into the playoffs, or do you have some concerns about his production? Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, that's appreciate your thoughtfulness there. That's we appreciate you coming out. First, want to say, we're big fans of what you've done over there at Team Bronson this year, man. We appreciate you being here. We hope to get the chance to play you. We really do here in this playoffs. So, but I'll start by answering your second question. Kenny Drake, man, he's a guy that we're really happy to have on this team. He's a glue guy. He's someone you won't see anybody work harder than Kenyon Drake, and I've said that multiple times this year. We're happy for him that he's seen success here in the last couple of weeks. He does have to keep it up. We need him to keep scoring. We need him to keep running the football effectively if we're going to have a chance here. And this week is going to have a lot to do with that, and we'll see how he does in practice this week and how he looks. That's why we went out and got Wayne Gallman, and we wanted depth at that position. And Wayne is a guy that we're definitely confident in playing if we're not confident in Kenyon Drake. So we're gonna have to look at the matchups. We're gonna have to see how both players do this week. But listen, I don't want to send any mixed messages here to Kenyon Drake. He's a guy that we love having on this team. He's been a huge part of our success so far this year, and he's a huge part of the plan. And we're gonna need him to be even better than he's been to have a real shot at this thing. So yeah, we love Kenny Drake, and we're always going to love Kenny Drake, and we're proud to have him. As far as your first question, we don't care what people say about our team. Least deserving ever. Well, we're the most deserving this year. So that's what matters. We're focused on 2020. We're focused on this year, these playoffs. Again, I mean, history. We're here to rewrite history. We don't have any championships yet in our organization, and we want to change that. We want to rewrite history. So, only one seed has won the title in 6 years. We're not a deserving 1 seed. Well, fuck that, man. I mean, we're here to win football games, and we've won the most football games so far this year, and we're looking to keep winning. We want to get better this year or this week, and I believe that we're going to do that. So, I'm looking forward to next week when we get to this when we know who we're playing. We can really get into the thick of things here. But appreciate y'all, and I'll see you next week.